Hello. So instead of doing a 5-page paper, I thought I'd do a quick 5-minute video on our paper topic, which was themes of power in fashion and its mutations through the 18th century. First off, in 5 minutes, I'm not going to be able to cover the whole breadth of fashion and all that stuff. So I'm going to pick 3 major areas that I researched and thought were really great in showing this and that had really relevant ties to fashion today. So the first one I'd like to talk about is ancient Egypt. The second one I want to talk about is Greco-Roman. And the third one I want to talk about is French Rococo period. So the first one is ancient Egypt. And what we most know about ancient Egyptian fashion stems to one of 2 or 3 things, which basically is the overall arching theme in fashion in these periods of time is that, number one, fashion is made by military power, because with military power you get to go over to other lands and conquer other people and see how they do what they do and then use it for yourself, which is how technology and fashion advances. Second is the drive to look good, to emulate perfection. And that goes on to today. That's why fashion is such a powerful industry. A lot of people think fashion's fluff, but it's really not, because in controlling how people think and dress and things like that, you can really control the mindset of a set population. So, and the third thing is money. If you have money to look nice or extra money to spend on yourself, generally you can spend that money on looking nice. And the more money you spend, the nicer you look, in theory. I think actually it's the more money you spend, the more custom tailored and detailed what you get would be. So first off, ancient Egypt. 2 people from ancient Egypt that were relevant today are Cleopatra and Nefertiti. Cleopatra is relevant because she iconicized Venus, which is the goddess of beauty. And I think in doing so, she really just said, I'm just going to sit here and all I'm going to do is really be pretty, and that's what you're going to want me for. Which is a great statement, because if you can pull off being flawlessly gorgeous to the point where you can track down a dude, she picked Mark Antony, she wanted him, and she went after him. Go Cleopatra. So, that stems to a good fact that Elizabeth Taylor did the same look in a movie later on, embodying that look. And like I said, just Elizabeth Taylor, she went after her dudes and got him, and that's what she did. So fashion for women basically stems from the fact that that's all, like, your clothes were all you were able to own. So if you're only going to be able to spend your money on your clothes, you might as well look nice, right? Right. This next person in ancient Egypt would be Nefertiti. And she's usually the darker one with the crown-like thing going on. And that's because she was co-regent, and at some point, that's what that crown symbolizes, that she shared power with her husband, which, power of couple. That comes back to fashion today also. Let's see. Next thing, men. King Tut, loincloths around the waist, bearded headdresses. But a lot of other things in fashion in this time which were relevant were wigs. That's just because an excess of hair means you could take care of yourself, and that means, you could wash your hair, whatever. That time, there wasn't really much you could do about lice, so people got lice. So what they did is they shaved their hair off and put wigs on. Also next would be makeup, which is red ochre. Make you look flushed, make you look beautiful. Circular capes, which is what you see with Cleopatra. That's what she's kind of known for. Moving on to ancient Roman Greece would be tunics and, what are these called? Togas. And a tunic is a small sheath-like apparatus worn under the toga. And with the toga, they're mainly earthy kind of tones or whatever, but purple was reserved for upper class, and there's kings and kind of people having to do with deities and goddesses, and the actual deities and goddesses. So one stripe meant you were I believe a king. Another stripe meant, two stripes meant you were a fortune teller, or you worked in the temples, and a full purple toga was reserved for your statue of your deities and things like that. Women wore stolas under their togas, which is a longer sheath-like dress. I think pretty much that's all going on there with the sheath-like thing. That brings back to fashion now, and the fact that that's our basic frame, most like, and a beautiful person is this, or accentuated like this, show off curves and whatnot. And last one would be Rococo period, which has to do with Lolita fashion. That's the modern day aesthetic. There was hoop skirts and prints and frilly stuff. Marie Antoinette's known for that. Again, she had money. She was aristocracy. So basically, if you're on top, you have money, you look nice, you influence fashion. If you're politics or war or whatever, military-like, that influences fashion, because people on top, you want to hear their story. You don't really want to hear about people who aren't on top. That's what fashion is. And today, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry by making people feel good about themselves, making people look good to their best of their ability. That's what fashion's all about. So that's about it. Peace.